So far we have become familiar with form elements, and we have seen that we can set our form elements up either through HTML tags or through properties of tags. We can set our HTML form elements up to try and reduce possible error from the user when they're inputting information. So for example, you want someone to put in an email address, you make sure that the text box is type equals email, and if the @ symbol isn't typed in, then we get an error straight away and we can't proceed on to the next page after the submit button is pressed. Okay, so input type equals radio, type equals date, type equals text, type equals email, type equals number. These are all useful for that. Okay, the second way we've been trying to sort of validate what sort of information the user types in is we want to make sure that something is actually typed in, so we use the required property. And if in case of a text box or an email text box, for example, we could say that max length equals 30 or 50 or whatever, that we don't want more than that number of characters. We also, for number text boxes, we can say the minimum number should be something and the maximum number should be something else. Okay, so these are things we can do, but we need to be more careful than that sometimes. Okay, for example, we might want to make sure, say for American postcodes, that at least 5 digits are put in, and that we might allow the extra 4 digits in American postcodes separated by a hyphen from the first 5 characters. So that's we can't do that at the moment from where we are with our knowledge base. Okay, so but we can use what are called regular expressions, and this involves using the pattern property for text boxes. Okay, so the resources, we're giving you this web page here. Okay, and essentially it consists of a series of text boxes. Some of them have got the patterns, regular expression patterns put in. Some of them don't. So the task will be to work through the code, try and understand the first 3 regular expressions in the first 3 patterns in these 3 text boxes, and then try and figure out what the pattern might be in the 4th. We'll look at the code in a wee while, but let's just get our head around what a regular expression actually is. Okay, it's a sequence of characters. Okay, and essentially these characters are very powerful shorthand, and we can use them to create patterns, and then we can match those patterns with whatever string has been typed into the text box. Okay, so these patterns, these regular expressions, some of the characters are very special, okay, in that they have an extra meaning as well as meaning themselves. Okay, as well as having a literal meaning, some of them may have special meaning. Okay, in that sense they are what are called meta characters. So we'll see in regular expressions square brackets plus curly brackets, the caret symbol, I think this is called, it's sort of upside down V, and S and so on, and hyphen. These characters have particular significance in regular expressions. Okay, so we can look at what sort of text is being typed in. For example, telephone number. Do we want them to put in brackets? Does the first character, the first number, have to be a 0 in the prefix and so on? So we can write a regular expression pattern. Okay, these can be very concise, very flexible. Because of that, they look a little bit forbidding at the start. So we'll start off with simple ones and we'll build up. They are used widely in many programming languages. Okay, and the idea here is that if we can use them on a HTML web page, it means we have much less processing to do with JavaScript on the client side and with PHP or with Java on the server side later on. So it's really important to try and understand how we can apply regular expressions to HTML. So before we actually jump into the code, I'm just going to go through some of the resources down here at the bottom. Okay, So the first one is W3 schools. So you can have a look in there, and here's an example of a regular expression pattern. Okay, something like that. Okay, and what that means is we need 3 letters. Okay, they can be capitals. Okay, so inside the square brackets we have A to Z capital letters, A to Z lowercase letters. Okay, and the curly bracket in 3 means that we must have 3 characters, 3 alphabetic characters. They can be capital letters or lowercase. So that's what that means. If you try it yourself, if I type that there, we have more than 3 characters. So we get an error message coming up if we don't have enough. If I put a K in there, and that's okay. Yep. Okay. So that example has that pattern works there. So do explore that page. It's very, very useful. Okay. The pattern property or attribute. Okay. So you just type it in, just like placeholder or min, max, max length, and so on. It's just another property for a tag. Okay. The second example here, making forms fabulous with HTML, a little bit old, but just have a read through. These are the types we could have for text boxes. Validation, the pattern attribute. So there's a little bit of discussion there. You can read through that. That's good. A good primer for my pages in general. So I suppose just to be more formal, we could call this client-side validation for web forms. Okay, so we're trying to validate, we're trying to check what is the quality of the input characters that the user has typed in. Okay, so a bit more information here, and pattern is in here somewhere. I think, otherwise why did I put this link in? I'm not sure, probably not that relevant really. Okay, you can forget that one. Okay. Okay, html5pattern.com. What this allows you to do is to, if you click here, it gives you the pattern for various countries, postal code, okay, phone numbers. If that's the format you want, that's what you need to type in. Okay, so you look at these and you think, oh my God, I'm not going near this. Don't worry about it for the moment. Okay, emails, very important advice there. Please do not use a pattern for email validation. Okay, because it's very, very difficult to write one. It's very, very difficult to write JavaScript for email validation. So the simplest thing, look how simple that is. Input type equals email. So that's all you need to use. Okay, the HTML5 has very powerful pattern validations built into it. So do have a look at those. Okay, html5pattern.com. Wikipedia, a bit more information there if you want to look at that article. And if you want to use an error code, regular expression, why is that not? Okay, I must have clicked it properly. There it is there. Okay, very, very forbidding. Okay, but you can just take that and say pattern equals that, and all the error codes can be validated on that. Okay, and that's it. So the next video we'll start looking at the code.